Brothers and sisters of St. Mary's, Deacon Doug here. I'd like to offer a brief reflection on the readings for the sixth Sunday of Easter, taken from the Gospel of St. John and the first letter of St. Peter. We read in the Gospel of St. John that Christ is talking about giving us an advocate, a helper, and that is the gift of the Holy Spirit. But as I reflected on this passage, I noticed that the gift of the Holy Spirit is dependent on our love for Jesus and obedience to his commandments. The commandments to love God and to love our neighbor. We also notice that Jesus' teaching on the Holy Spirit is that his Spirit is the Spirit of truth. It is opposed to the world, the spirit of the world, because the spirit of the world is based on deceit. It is based on despair and false teaching. This is contrary to the spirit that Jesus offers all believers who put their love and trust in him. Now we can reflect on this from the writing of St. Peter, when he tells us that when we are in the world, we are going to be persecuted by the world. We are going to be abused because we have the spirit of truth. And because we are thus in opposition to the truth, we are going to encounter this abuse because we have the Spirit of truth in us. But the law of Christ has to remain his law. That is, we must love our neighbor and we must love God. The teaching here is that St. Peter is telling us that we must not return an evil deed for the abuse that we receive. In fact, he tells us that we are to suffer because of our good conduct, because of doing good, and not because of our evil. He tells us that we must meet them with love, kindness, and patience. This is opposed to the world. This is not what the world expects us to do. So as we suffer every day in our daily lives, in illness, in distress, or by abuse, we must always hold the truth of the Spirit that Christ offers us in our hearts and lift our hearts to the true gospel that Christ teaches. I invite you to join every morning with Christians around the world that say a very simple prayer that offers up both our sufferings and our joys to God. The prayer goes like this: O my Jesus, through the Immaculate Heart of Mary, I offer you all my prayers, works, joys, and sufferings on this day, in union with the holy sacrifice of the Mass throughout the world. I offer them for the intentions of your Sacred Heart, the salvation of all souls, in reparation for sin, and for the reunion of all Christians. I offer them for the intentions of your bishops, all the apostles of prayer, and in particular those prayers recommended by the Holy Father. Amen. My brothers and sisters, these are strange times that we are in, no doubt. But I also have faith that God will bring us back together very soon. We must always have faith in the will of God and his providential care. So stay strong, stay in faith, and hold on to the teachings that Jesus gives us. Hold on to the gift of the Holy Spirit. Until we meet again, let us always remember, Christ has risen. Take care. We'll talk soon.